Khalid Al-Ameri and Sania Mirza and help them achieve their goals. He is the founder of Transform Your Body in Dubai, a leading fitness center. Please welcome Mr. Yasir Khan for his guest speech.
Thank you. Thank you so much. A doctor would be too much for me. Okay. First of all, thank you for having me here. As much as I am excited, I am also nervous because I don't have so many kids in my facility in TYB. Majority of the time I deal with all the adults. So basically, when you continuously keep making mistakes and the outcome what you're going to face, then you have to come to me to fix that. That's why my job becomes even more tougher, because I believe when you want to learn something, yes, it's hard, but it's not as hard that when you have to unlearn something and then relearn. So that becomes even more harder. So that's what my job is to. And at that age, when you are an adult, no one wants to be treated like a child, like a kid. But the mistakes, that's what makes us kind of position ourselves that we are making these mistakes over and over again. These are not the mistakes anymore. These are your habits. Again, when it comes to Mental Health Day, there is a huge role which is played in your physical fitness, that is your mental health. Because no one wants to or likes to keep making the same mistake over and over again for decades, not just few months or few years. And no one wants that, no one likes that, but how can you not stop it? And that's where your mind comes in the picture. And then you realize, so I do a lot of work with my clients who are adults, and I make them realize what is their mistake, how they can resolve it, how they can solve this problem. Because these are the problems, but very few can accept it. Now, on this day, especially with kids, I know I was sitting in the room with my co-speakers and I was paying attention in what they were talking about. You know, we live in the generation, your generation is information generation, right? This is known for just keep receiving information, and as much information as you have, either you are counted as successful or someone who is very intelligent, who is very intellectual, because you can talk, right? Now, what we are lacking in today's time is implementation. If you will start focusing on implementation, you will understand the value. First of all, you will be able to put a higher value on your information, what you have taken, because you have invested your time in receiving that information. Because I always believe, for an example, like if you have, this is your bottle, this is your everyday. Now, if this bottle, whatever you will put in, either you put water, coffee, cold drink, whatever you want to put in this, or even a sand, whatever the use you have for that thing, the outcome, that's more important. So if this is your one day, whatever information you will consume in this, that will stay with you. Now, for an example, if this is your one day capacity, you will only take this much information till here, which is almost, let's say 25-30% of this. But you will implement that. And then next day, again, this bottle will be empty. You will take half, then you will implement that. Then next day, again, it will be empty, because when you sleep, when you wake up, your information again is empty, and your brain, your mind is ready to take more. Third day, you will fill it full, and then you will implement that. But what is happening, where we are going wrong, we keep filling it, this bottle, as your everyday information, but we are not utilizing it. There is no utilization. That's why people, sorry to say, but there are some kids you cannot even talk to them, because in 2 minutes, they will make you shut up. You cannot talk further because they have answer for everything. That's the problem, that we should not have answers for everything. We should have solutions of all the problems, not the answers. The answers are not the solution. That is again the information you're sharing. If that is the solution, okay, then do it. People can say it, but they cannot do it. Because doing requires a lot of work. Doing requires a lot of practice. In order to do something which people think is like, wow, what a perfect, it's a perfection, requires at least not 10,000 hours only. 10,000 hours will make you a teacher of that thing, that you can teach others, but you still don't become the master of that. The master requires 10,000 days. That is around, I think, 28 years. Now I'm in my field, and what I am doing right now, I have spent 21 years. I'm still 7 years away from to become the master, that anything I will say, that will be on point. But I know one thing, that I have started dealing with my own mental health issues from a very young age, because I was sent to far away from my family at the age of 4, and I have lived in smaller villages and different areas, and I didn't want to, but to deal with my own self and to control my own emotions, I had to learn how to deal with it. That's what I teach people. So I think in today's time, this is what is missing, that you need to understand, as much as you move your mind and you think, you have to align it with your body. So body movement is very important. If you will not do it, so what is anxiety? What is depression? When you have too much movement happening in your mind and lack of movement in your body, you cannot do it. You cannot move your body much. It means you will start overthinking. And once you start overthinking, you will have the mountains of problems where, for an example, should I drink this water or should I not drink this water? Now, if I just keep thinking, it will just keep, because every thought I have, that is adding weight in my brain, and that weight is coming to my body. Now it's becoming heavier. My body is becoming heavier now. And now, if I just think, okay, fine, just take it and drink it. Now, there is no more thought, there is no more weight in my body. So the time you think, do it, but you have to have an experience that what you're thinking is right. To differentiate between right and wrong, again, you need to use your brain. And you need to implement all of this. I know you may have not read this somewhere, you may have not been taught anywhere, but this is something which I have experienced, and I'm speaking from my very personal experience and the experience of my clients, that how I am dealing, because if everything what they have studied was right earlier, they would not need me. And they would not be struggling in their 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s also. And there are people who are struggling, and I am helping them. So I would not say anything from the book and by the book what is written. I would say everything what I have experienced. Maybe some of you students, maybe they can voluntarily help me to write my thesis and my theories. We can teach others. So that you can help me and you can be a part of the same movement what I have taken in my hands. Instead of giving the advice, I would share my own personal experience here. That basically I'm from Bhopal. It's a town in India, Madhya Pradesh. And I was raised in many different locations, many different small villages. It's more like forest, because I was sent to madrasa from the age of 4 till the age of 13. Imagine you going to school first time and you see someone getting punished upside down in the well. So imagine at the age of 4, at the age of 3, if you experience something like that, and the trauma you will have, that this is what happens when you make a mistake. So you will never make a mistake in your life. First 2 years I was away from my parents, and then when I came back, I was almost 7 years old. And then I decided that I will just not go back. Okay, maybe they thought like it's not one place, they could send me to somewhere else. But I just decided no matter what, I will just run. And every time I was sent to one place, I was out of there maximum 1 month. If you guys think like you can bunk a class, I have done non-stop 2 to 3 years. That's the reason why I can fix people or why I can help people so much, because I have been on the other side. Because the way people look at me, I know what is there in their eyes, what is their thinking, and what is going to happen, what they're going to do with this kind of thought, how harmful it is for your life to think even like that. So that's why I know that, because I have been there, I have done that, and no one caught me for 9 years. Even if they caught me, I mean, what worse they can do? They will just beat me. There was no stopping until what she said, until I found my physical strength, until I found one act. I just wanted to grip something. I wanted to have that one point that I can hold on to my life, that yes, I have a reason to live. It was not my parents, it was not my relatives, it was not the place, it was not my town, it was not my country, it was nothing. Because I had no friends and I did not stay at one place for too long, more than a month. So I could not develop that kind of relation and connection with anyone. And every time I used to come back home, every time it was a change, it was new things. Apart from my own these issues, there was other issues in my family. I think majority of us, we all faced. That's where I realized, first of all, life is not perfect. So stop complaining. Life will never be perfect. Because first of all, it's not the life which is not perfect. It's our own mind. We are not perfect. When you complain, just see yourself and write down those things from the morning till night. Do everything on your own. And then the answer from inside, it will come. Life is beautiful. Life is so good. Life is so perfect. Because you will be tired physically when you will do everything on your own. Pick up a glass, drink water, make your bed, clean your house, wash your clothes, and try not to use the machinery, all the machines, minimum machines. You want to walk 10 kilometers, walk. 20 kilometers, 30 kilometers, let's see how many problems you have in your life. And then you will find that, wow, thank God, I'm back home and I can sleep on this bed. I'll share a small story. One drunkard man came and he hit me. And after that, we started running, and he was running faster than us. He was running better than us, and he was constantly trying to catch me. And when I came home, I was all sweating, and I looked myself in the mirror, and I just questioned myself, who am I? I can't even face a drunkard man who was like this skinny, and I was scared of him. I'm scared of everyone. My life has no meaning, no purpose. What am I doing with my life? And what will I do? That moment, I don't know how. Because I have seen, this is one thing, it's very important for parents to have good habits, because I have always seen my dad doing push-ups, like in Desi style. He was always training. I've always seen him every day morning. He used to train. He used to work out. I looked at myself and I started crying. And right after that, I was down on the floor and I was just doing push-ups, as many as I could do. And I got tired and I slept. Next morning when I got up, I felt my body. When I felt my body, because it was so sore and I was in extreme pain, and I was like, wow, after a long time, the pain is not because someone hit me, the pain is from inside. It's my body pain. And then I started from 10, 15, 20 push-ups. I started doing push-ups around 500, 700, 800, every day non-stop. I didn't know that you should rest and what you should eat and what you should do. Since I was not that educated also, I did not go to school. I then realized that, okay, fine, now my family is not going to support me because I'm not listening to what they want me to do. I need to support myself. And I started taking jobs. I started selling milk. I became the hawker, like I used to supply newspapers, magazines. I didn't even know how to read English and how to speak in English. That's how I learned English. It took me 6, 7 months that I can read now. And that's how I realized. And from at the age of 13, when I went to railway station, I saw one magazine because I was into so much training and I was training on my body. I was training my body and I realized that, oh wow, men's health. What my co-speaker said, that manifestation. So that's the right word, that manifest. So I was like, wow, one day I want to be on the cover page of Men's Health. And when the owner of the shop, he hit me on my head. He's like, go do your work. You're just wasting time. Do your work. So I was like, I want to do it and I will be. He's like, he took the magazine, literally he took the magazine from me, tell me the spelling of Men's Health. He asked me that question and I didn't know. What is the spelling of Men's Health? And I may make mistake still today. If you will ask me to write down, I may make a mistake. I may make a mistake in where to put that apostrophe or, where to put the dot and all of that. I still make all these mistakes. That's why I have team, which is amazing team, and they do all these things for me. But I use this because this is the power. This is what made me reach where I am today. Then when I told him, it took me how many years to chase that one dream? 8 years. From 13, and I was on the cover page of Men's Health when I reached 21. So I did one practice. Thank you. So what all I did to achieve that for youngsters I can share with you. First, I didn't know how to read. So I used to cut pictures, whatever I used to like. And I used to stick, because our house was very small, maybe half the size of this, maybe quarter of this where we are sitting right now. And 5 of us lived there, 2 of my sister, me and my parents. My dad gave me one corner, and that corner had it's like L shape, because there was no walls in my house. So it was just one L shape, one corner. I used to sleep there. So that L corner, I used to stick all the pictures of all fitness models, bodybuilders and everyone, all the athletes, everyone, whoever I used to like, I used to put there. When I used to come home, before I used to go to bed, I just used to stare at them. And one day, see, it's like, it makes me emotional. That these are the things. So that one day I'm going to live like this and I'm going to be that. And today, alhamdulillah, I'm far better. I mean, these are the people who I sponsor and I let them train in my place and I help them and all of that. But I wanted to become just that. And it took me 8 years. First, I said, just seeing is not enough. I need to learn how to read. Then I need to communicate. I only used to have friends. And in my town, girls were always better. I mean, still they are better than boys. So they were good speaker. They were well educated. So I used to have all the girlfriends just for one reason. And that was just to communicate with me in English. So you can teach me in English. They used to make fun of me a lot. And I still used to say, it doesn't matter whatever you want, but I have a purpose. and I'm just going to achieve that. That's how. Yes, exactly. And that's the strength you need. That's the mental power. There are many methods, but I believe I didn't need anything. I just need me. I just needed me, and I found myself just by going through that painful process. Because the way your body becomes stronger by going through the struggle and the painful process, same way your mind gets stronger by facing hardships, by facing difficult situations. If you keep running away from difficult situations, you will just keep getting weaker and weaker. Tell me one person who did not face difficulties in their life and they are strong today mentally. If you required other people to solve your problems, you still required more people to solve your problems, because problems, what exist in the parallel time in the universe in your mind, they also grow as you grow with time. They also multiply. If someone else is solving, that person is becoming better, not you. So I did not ask others to solve my problems. I helped my own self. And that's how I became what I became. One thing I did, manifestation. I visualized myself living that life, okay. And that detail, I would wake up, I would have this kind of a house, I would live this kind of a place, I would drive this car, I would go. Even before I started TYB, my goal was I wanted to deal with the high-end CEOs and the people who could understand what I am saying, because not everyone can understand what I say and what the kind of practices I make them do, because these are difficult practices, and my job is to make your life difficult. My job, that's what I get paid for. First of all, not everyone sustain what I do, sustain in that environment, because you come to me and you pay me to make your life even more difficult. So one thing is manifestation. That's what I did. I moved my body every day. I trained very, very hard, and I trained with a purpose, with a goal, that where I'm going. So that's why I use that with my clients, the goal setting. I do goal setting with them. So if you start from here, where you would be next week, where you would be next month, where you would be next year, where you will see, and I create the whole plan for them so that you can visualize everything what you're doing, right? Then I disconnect from all the external, which was not aligned as per my purpose in life. And my purpose was just to be on the cover page of Men's Health. Maybe it's not very big thing for other people, but that's all I had to hold on to change my life. Once I would do that, now still, I would not become something, a millionaire or a superstar, but that would be my certification that this is the profession I'm going to use, or I'm going to follow, or I'm going to live like that. That preparation took me 8 years. I still did not make any money out of that, but still just to realize that this is the right path for me, because I'm going to sacrifice everything for this. I manifested, I made a plan, I set a goal, and then I started working and I started following my goal. And then I had my role models, very clear, very crisp. One of my role models was Tom Cruise, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, and these were the people whose ideology and their hardships, their struggle, similar to mine, and how they did it, how strong they are mentally, how I can become like them. When I learned English from these magazines, I decided to read real books, not like fiction and artificial stories. I didn't require any stories, because I knew it that my life is going to become a story that every kid will read. That was my goal. And so what I did, I read other success stories. Because I knew everywhere I saw, my father was complaining about problems, mother is complaining, father is fighting, sisters are complaining. Sometimes take newspaper, there's problem, murder, there's that, system is wrong, government is wrong, this is wrong, that. Everywhere there is nothing which is good. Then I said, like, okay, fine, it's not just me. How these people became successful, they also have gone through same problems, I'm sure. Let's read their autobiographies. I started reading their autobiographies, but again, I did not take 100% of it. Why? Because I know it's a lie. It's not true. No one writes everything honestly. Oh, they will not tell you everything truth. So I would just take what is aligned with me, and where I find there is obstacle, I would come out of that obstacle by this method, what this person have used. I'm not going to see, oh, because this person he was like white, so of course he was born in an environment where English was the mother tongue. Now how would I learn English and how will I communicate with other people? This is next to impossible, so forget it, I'm not going to do it. I mean, I didn't think that way, because that many people think, oh, okay, I'm this and I am that, and I'm black and I'm white, I'm from this, I don't have money. I have seen all of that. But again, either you have the solution of the problem or you yourself become the problem. So I did that. I had very clear, very crisp role models, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to learn from them. I've done that. And then I took every step to make it happen. I moved from Bhopal. I did not live in my comfort zone. 3 years I was selling milk and I became like a very young kid who was 16-year-old. At the age of 16-year-old, who's earning on his own. There was no one who was paying me. My father, I did not take a single penny from the age of 13. And before that also, it was like 1 rupees or 2 rupees max that I have got from my parents. So what did I do? Full set business, everything what I created in 3 years, I shut it off in one day. I gave it to other people without taking any money out of them. And whatever the money, 1500 rupees I had, I moved to Bombay. First time I wanted to educate myself for personal training course because that was the only place I could have learned. And that was another step to become a personal trainer so that I can make more money, educate myself, not to make money to buy stuff, but to educate myself, because I knew when I would go for men's health audition, I would have to look good, be presentable, and speak in good language. When the time came, so I have tried for 1 year, I gave audition. When I reached Delhi and I gave the audition, the editor asked me, would you want the inside story because your story is amazing, or you want the cover page? I said, like, it took me 8 years and I will take cover page or nothing. And that's it. That's how it happened. Thank you. Thank you.